Hello and welcome to another 747 update for Copilot CRM. Every week we make an update video just going over all of the features and updates that we pushed this week in Copilot. So we have a really long update this week, a lot of fun things, a lot of ways to help you speed up your navigation around Copilot. So that's pretty cool. But let's hop right in with the first feature we're going to go over, and that is we now have the ability to have multi-user logins or franchise logins, whatever you like to call it. But basically, if you do have a franchise with multiple locations, you can now reach out to support and we can help you set it up so that you can log into multiple different Copilot locations, which is really cool. You get access to this whole new site that you can log into which franchise you would like to log into. You can even track your time in there. When you log into the franchise, a little pop up at the bottom comes up saying the local time zone and tracks the time, and you can run reports on time spent in franchise accounts and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really cool feature. We're really excited about this one. Like I said before, reach out to support. We can help you set this up if you do have franchises, but otherwise that is that update. Pretty cool. Next thing we did is on the surface it might look a little it might not be super exciting, but this is actually pretty cool. And that is we added the ability to cancel and reactivate recurring series. So before, if you had a recurring series, you might have noticed there was a delete button over here, and that was basically the only way to stop a recurring series. But now you can cancel a recurring series, which will only cancel what's future of today. And this also allows you to, as you can see, it's now labeled canceled, but this also allows you to reactivate the series. So maybe your customer changes their mind and they actually want you to come back and to do service. You can actually reactivate the series. And the reason why this is cooler than just being able to cancel and reactivate is because now we are working on a KPI in the KPI cockpit for attrition rate. So you can see your attrition rate because of this very soon. Hopefully that will be out by the next 747 update. So pretty cool. Next thing was just a navigational thing, and that was we moved the card/ACH on file pages under finances. Before, this was under customers as just tabs on the top of the page, and that didn't really make sense. So now under finances, this is where you can manage credit cards on file, ACH on file. This is where you can charge them as well. And then you can also set up your auto charge settings as well from here too. So nice little update. Next thing we did was we made it so that the map settings on the dispatch board save now. So maybe you never really use the map and you want to have your map always hidden. Now, if you refresh this page, which I'll do right now, as you can see that setting saved. Maybe you always use your map in the float mode. And then if I refresh the page, now my map is still floating. So really nice that the settings save now. That's great. Next thing is we added just a quicker way to record payments up in this new button here. This button's really useful in Copilot. Well, we just added an option up here to record a payment from here. So before you had to either open the invoice or you had to go to the payments page and do a new payment. Now you can just do it straight from here. Next thing is when adding a property, it now prompts you if you want to schedule a meeting. So we already had a pop-up that came up when you added a property. I'll just go ahead and add one really quick. Just do a random address and hit save. And we had this pop-up. We just added an option here to schedule a meeting. We've noticed it's a pretty common workflow that people, when they add a property, they want to schedule a meeting to go see the property before they send out an estimate. So this just saves time. When you click this, it pulls in all the right information, such as the customer and the property you just put in, and you can schedule a property or a meeting right away. It's pretty nice. Next small thing we did was on the email page. We just added a sent confirmation. We had some people saying it was kind of confusing to see if an email had been sent. So now when you send an email, it just says down here, email sent successfully. So now you can be assured that your emails are sending, which is nice. Next thing is we added a generate invoice button to all grid views on the schedule. So before, if you wanted to generate an invoice, you'd have to go to the all events page, and then you can use this generate invoice button here. But now you can just go to the month view, for instance, and grid view, and generate invoices from here. And this works on today grid and week grid as well. Next thing is we made the property clickable when on the visit pop-up. So a little while ago, we made it so that you can click the customer name in here, which will open in a customer profile. And now you can click the property. So this name here is clickable. I can just go ahead and click this and it'll open up to that property. So nice navigation there. The next thing on is basically the same thing. Is now on a property page, you can click the customer name. So if I'm viewing a property and I need to go edit something on this customer page, I can just go up here and click the name on the customer now. Really nice for saving time. Great navigational tool there. Next thing is on the customer page as well, and that is we just consolidated the create buttons up here. We had like 4 probably create buttons, and we just put it under one menu. Well, actually, it looks like we had more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 6 create buttons that are now all just in this nice menu. And the difference between this create and this create is this uses context of the page. So if I create a visit from here, it actually pulls in that customer information right there. So we just made it much more clean by doing it that way. Next thing is on the routes page. We now show visit end time. If you have a visit on the schedule at a certain time, before we were only showing date and start time, but now we show date, start time, and end time. So you can use that when you're building your routes. And that's everything. We pushed a lot of updates this week in Copilot. Like I said before, lots of just little navigational differences that actually make quite a big difference when you're trying to do things on the schedule and you need to go to the customer page, or with the property page and you need to go to the customer page. It just makes it that much faster using Copilot. So those updates are always welcome. But that was it for this week's 747 update. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next week.